So thank you all so much for being here for our first morning of the residential conference. It's quite an exciting time. I think even though we're virtual, there is definitely a sense of community and energy that comes along with this RC. So we'll begin this morning with a yoga practice. It will be different each day. So if you do join us throughout the week, class will be different, and always with the components of breath work, with flexibility and stretching the body and mind, but also centering, grounding, and becoming present. So as we drop into our class this morning, allow yourself to find a position that feels comfortable on the body. Upright if possible. I sit on a cushion or a zafu, so if you want to find something to perch upon for the beginning part of class, we will start with a few minutes of seated meditation. Cross-legged if possible, otherwise just find something that's comfortable for your body. Allowing your spine to extend, trying to create a little bit of space between each vertebrae as you find that upright, comfortable posture. Allow the awareness to drop into the body, maybe beginning by just noticing the places in your body where you most easily feel your breath. So allowing the breath to come in, maybe through the nose or the mouth. Maybe you more easily feel your breath as it comes into the belly or the chest. And we'll spend these first few moments breathing in and breathing out, allowing the body, the mind, the spirit to come into this present moment. Allowing the eyes to close if that's comfortable for you, or settling your gaze down on the earth in front of you. And over these next couple of moments, as we allow our mind and our body to come into our breath, allow your breath to be with ease. Allow a gentle rise and fall. And as we slowly begin to bring movement into the body, attempting to maintain this awareness of our breath. With our next inhale, arms rise towards the sky, lifting through heart center, reaching the fingertips up towards the heavens. Maybe allowing gaze to follow, finding that place where the wall meets the ceiling. And on our exhale, we'll arc to one side, keeping both sits bones pressed down into the earth. Arms reach up and over, opening through the side body. With our next inhale, we come back through center. And on our exhale, opposite direction. Long inhale brings us back to center, reaching those fingers up towards the heavens. And on the exhale, elbows come behind the body as if to kiss, opening through heart center. And on our exhale, we'll reach the hands out to the sides, coming into a T, reaching those fingers towards the opposite walls. Long exhale here, and with our next inhale, arms rise towards the sky. Again, we exhale in one direction, long, deep exhale. Inhale brings us back to center. Exhale, opposite direction. And inhale brings us back to center. From here, we'll French press those hands down by our sides. Long exhale as our fingertips reach down towards the edges of the mat, lifting up through the center of the body, out the center of the head. Fingertips reach out, creating a nice angle from the top of the head down to the fingertips. And with our exhale, right ear comes down to right shoulder, reaching through those left fingers, creating lots of space along the side of the body, creating space from that left shoulder to the left ear, opening through the neck. And on our exhale, chin comes down towards chest. And slowly bringing left ear towards left shoulder, reaching through those right fingers. Again, attempting to keep those shoulders dropped down, creating space between that right shoulder and the right ear. One more breath here. And on our exhale, gently bringing chin back down towards chest. We'll interlace our fingers, gently placing the palms of the hands on the back of the head. We don't want to push or press here, just simply placing the hands on the back of the head. And with our next inhale, we allow our gaze to come back to center. So sitting up nice and tall, gaze comes right out in front. Gently, with about 5% of your effort, gently press the head into those hands. Chin stays parallel with the earth. Engage the belly. One more breath here. And on our exhale, slowly release the hands coming back down onto the thighs. Big shoulder rolls up towards the ears, around back and down. We'll do one more in this direction. And then changing directions, bring the shoulders around behind us, squeeze those shoulder blades together, come up towards the ears and down. And allowing your awareness to stay with the breath. And then finding center. Next, inhale, right arm reaches up towards the sky. From here, we'll bend the elbow, walk the fingertips down the spine. Left arm can come across to make contact with the elbow. We offer just a little bit more information into the body here. So again, we don't want to force these postures. Just allow that left hand to rest on the right elbow as the fingertips walk down towards the sacrum. Right elbow reaches towards the sky. As we sit upright here, creating length between each vertebrae, we also engage the belly, allowing that core to hold us up. One more breath here. And with a gentle exhale, we'll allow this right arm to come across the front of the body. Holding on just behind that right elbow, reach the fingers across. Those right fingers are reaching over to the left side of our body. Rather than pressing this left hand towards us, we use the left hand to guide that right arm across the body. Again, belly strong here. And on our exhale, right hand comes around the back of the body, placing the back of the hand on the sacrum, reaching for that left hip, or maybe grabbing onto the inside of that left elbow. Both of the shoulders are down and back. We sit up nice and tall, strong through the belly. Opening through the front of the body, releasing that right shoulder, releasing the right pecs. Bringing a little fire into heart center. And on the exhale, slowly release, coming back to center. One long breath here. And with our next inhale, left arm reaches for the sky. Reach the fingers up towards the heavens and then gently bend the elbow, walking those left fingers down the spine. Right arm comes across to meet. Again, just gently bringing some information into the body. We don't need to press, pull, or force. Find the breath, opening that space from the left elbow, down through that left shoulder, and down through the left side of the body. And slowly release on the exhale. Left arm comes across the front. Again, grabbing just behind the elbow with a little bit of a pull, reaching the fingers out to the right side of the body. Feeling that stretch come around the outside of the left shoulder, maybe even starting to feel the stretch come into the mid-spine. And on our exhale, left hand comes around the back of the body, again placing either on sacrum, reaching for right hip, or maybe grabbing onto the inside of the right elbow. Find the belly, nice and strong, sit up tall. One more long breath here. And on our exhale, slowly release, coming back to center. If you are perched upon a cushion, go ahead and slide off, set that to your side. We're gonna bring our feet out nice and wide. Toes reach towards the sky. Heels making their way towards the corners of the mat, hands pressed down right in front. On our inhale, we lift up nice and tall, lengthening through the body, lifting through the center of the head. Reach the toes towards the ceiling, starting to feel a little bit of engagement on the inner thigh, maybe even a little bit of heat on the tops of the legs. From here, we'll gently bring the kneecaps back towards us. So engaging the quadriceps. This is a move that you can't really recognize with the eyes. So don't think that this is a large movement. This is more of an intentional movement as those kneecaps come back towards us. Strong engagement on the top of the thighs, opening through hamstrings, opening through adductors. One more breath here. And on our exhale, we can soften, taking a little bit of the fire out of that posture, letting the feet rest here in space. One more breath. And with our next inhale, again, we'll reach those toes towards the sky, come onto the front sides of those sits bones. Hands can land down on the earth in front of us. On the inhale, we lengthen through the spine. And on the exhale, we slowly make our way into a forward fold. With each inhale, we lengthen. And with each exhale, we come a little farther forward. Just finding that place in your body this morning where you feel the edge, but we don't want to push past it. So we're playing with that point, that stopping point in the body, becoming mindful of the movements, mindful of the breath, trying to take the desire for a particular shape of our body out of the equation here, rather than hoping for a particular place that this forward fold lands us, focusing more on what's happening inside the body. How does this feel in the legs, the inner thighs? How does this feel in my low back? Are my shoulders soft? And keeping our awareness in the body rather than an expectation. One more breath here. And with our next inhale, slowly making our way back to center. We'll bring the left foot in towards the pelvis, keeping that right foot extended out. Right elbow is going to come to the inside of the right knee, fingertips making their way towards the right ankle, right heel, or maybe just down into the lower leg. Left arm reaches for the heavens. Reach through those fingers. Right elbow makes its way towards the earth as the left fingers make their way up towards the heavens. Opening through the chest, opening through this left side of the body, attempting to keep that left sits bone pressed down into the earth. One more long breath here. And on our exhale, we'll allow this left arm to reach up and over. Bicep traces over the ears. We reach for those right toes. Again, just playing with that edge. Where is your natural stopping point? And then allow the breath to do the work. Maybe the exhale allows you to come a little bit deeper into the posture. And one more breath here. And with our next inhale, slowly coming all the way back to center. We'll turn our body to face that right foot, one hand on either side of the right leg. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, we come forward. Gently walking the fingers towards that right foot. Again, with each inhale, we lengthen through the spine, and with each exhale, we come a little farther forward, eventually allowing the gaze to drop to the knee. And one more long, beautiful breath here. And with our inhale, slowly bringing ourselves back to center. And then right foot comes in to meet the left, finding Baddha Konasana. Bound ankle pose, letting the knees drop towards the earth. Hands can rest out on the knees, sitting up nice and tall. Breathing into the hips. Great opportunity again to find the breath. Find those long inhales and long exhales. Noticing where in the body we can soften. We're often holding places that we don't need to hold. Maybe it's in the hips, or maybe the jaw, the shoulders, the brow. Just attempting to create a little more space in the body. One more breath here. And with our next inhale, we'll extend the left leg out to the side. Keep that right foot in towards your pelvis. Left elbow comes to the inside of the left knee, fingertips making their way towards the ankle or the heel as the right arm rises towards the heavens. Again, we reach and lengthen through that right side of the body, both sits bones staying pressed down on the earth. Left elbow makes its way towards the earth. It definitely doesn't have to touch. That's just the trajectory. And one more long breath here. And on our exhale, right arm reaches over, bicep tracing over ear, fingertips making their way towards that left foot. Find your natural stopping point and then check in with the breath. Maybe the inhale allows us to lengthen as the exhale allows us to soften. And one more long breath here. And slowly making our way back to center, we'll turn to face that left foot, one hand on either side of the left leg. On the inhale, we lengthen, creating space in the body. And on the exhale, we fold forward, letting the gaze drop towards that left knee. Inhale, lengthen and extend the spine. Exhale, drop deeper into the posture. Again, letting the breath guide your movements. And with our next inhale, slowly making your way back to center. We'll find ourselves onto hands and knees. And bringing the palms directly below the shoulders, knees make their way directly below the hips. We find ourselves in tabletop, pulling that belly up and away from the earth, pressing the palms down into the ground, finding a neutral place for that spine, maybe taking a moment for a little cat and cow. Looking for that place of neutrality in the spine. Strong through the belly. One more breath here. And with our next inhale, we'll gently curl our toes under, roll those sits bones up towards the heavens, and then lift the pelvis. Finding downward dog, we'll allow our knees to stay bent here as we make our way into our first downward dog, maybe pedaling out one foot and then the other, shifting your weight from left to right. And then finding center, we'll lift our heels towards the heavens and then shift our weight to the right, shift those heels to the right, and then press the heels down towards the earth. Next inhale, lifting up the heels, turning them to the left, shifting slightly to the left, and then drop the heels. Next inhale, lifting the heels up, creating that nice long line from the tips of the fingers to the tips of the tailbones. And then as we press the heels towards the earth, we feel that nice long line from the heels up the back of the body to the sits bones. One more long breath here, finding our downward dog. And with our next inhale, we'll bring our gaze up in between the hands and step the right foot forward. Staying down in this nice low lunge, we press through the back of the left knee. Left hand lands on the earth directly below that left shoulder. Right arm's gonna reach for the sky. Use the belly for the twist here. Reaching those right fingers up towards the heavens, pressing through the back of the left knee. One more breath. And on the exhale, gently unwind, coming back to center. We'll step the right foot back for plank. Spend one long deep breath here. Again, peel the belly up and away from the earth, nice and strong through the core. And on our exhale, we'll find downward dog. One long, beautiful breath here. And with our next inhale, gaze comes up in between the hands and we'll step the left foot forward. Planting that right hand directly below the shoulder, left arm reaches for the sky. Again, use the belly to help you twist. Engage through the obliques. Press through the back of that right knee. One more breath here. And on our exhale, gently unwind. We'll step the left foot back and find plank. Child's pose is always welcome, or tabletop. One more breath here. And on our exhale, gently bring the knees to the earth, and we'll sit back for child's pose, forehead to the floor. And with our next inhale, coming back up for tabletop. Finding the strength in this posture, pressing the hands down into the earth, neutral spine, belly strong. From here, we'll gently shift the weight onto that left knee. Extend the right leg out behind, attempting to make that right leg parallel with the earth if possible. And then left arm reaches out in front. Finding bird dog. Reaching through those left fingers and out that right heel. With our next inhale, we'll bring our gaze out in front and lift the hand and the foot just about an inch. And then return back to center. Next inhale, lift that left arm, lift that right foot, and come back to center. We'll do one more here. Gaze out front, lift just an inch or so, and then find yourself back into tabletop. Long breath here. Child's pose is always welcome. And then slowly shift the weight onto the right foot. Left foot extends out behind. Again, attempting to get that left leg parallel with the earth if possible. Right arm reaches out in front. With our next inhale, we gaze out in front, lift the right hand, left leg just about an inch, and return to center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bird dog. One more here. Inhale, lift. And then exhale back into tabletop. From here, we'll curl the toes under, roll the sits bones to the sky, and find downward dog. Pressing the heels towards the earth, reaching the fingers down into the earth, finding a nice solid base here. One more long breath. And with our next inhale, we'll step the right foot forward. We're going to plant the feet for warrior one. So take your time here. Foundation is ultimately most important in the posture. Heel of the right foot in line with the instep of the left. Right knee comes directly over that right ankle. On the inhale, we rise up, finding warrior one. Reach through the fingers, drop the shoulders down. Create lots of space between the shoulders and the ears. Belly nice and strong here. Again, that right knee is somewhere directly above or behind that right ankle, just not out in front. One more long breath here. And on our exhale, we'll find warrior two. Arms come out to the side, gaze is over that right hand. Maybe widen the stance just slightly. Reach through the fingers, drop the shoulders. Again, find that strength in the belly. And exhale, peaceful warrior. Right hand reaches towards the heavens. Left hand lands on that left leg, or it can come around the back of the body. One more breath here. And with our next inhale, we'll find warrior two. Again, gaze is over that right hand. And with our next inhale, we'll transition into crescent lunge. Arms rise to the sky. We come up on those left toes. Feeling the strength in the back of the body, opening through the front of this left side of the body, opening through the left leg, left psoas, belly strong, hands are rising to the sky. One more breath here. And on our exhale, we bring hands to the earth. Step the right foot back for plank. And from here, downward dog. Again, child's pose is a nice option here. One more breath. And with our next inhale, either finding your way back into downward dog or simply bringing the left foot forward up in between the hands. Again, plant those feet for warrior one. Take your time to find the foundation of your posture. As you're ready, rise up. Left knee directly above or somewhere behind that ankle. The right hip gently comes forward ever so slightly so the left hip can stay back, keeping those hips nice and squared off. Drop the shoulders, reach through the fingers. A really gentle micro adjustment that can change the power of your posture here. Think about bringing your pubic bone and your bottom ribs just a little bit closer together. And it's a micro movement, hardly noticeable to the eye. One more breath. And on our exhale, we'll find warrior two. Gaze is out over that left hand. Drop the shoulders down, reach through the fingers. Strong through the belly. Left knee stays directly above or somewhere behind that left ankle, just not shooting out in front. One more long breath here. And on our exhale, we'll find peaceful warrior. Left arm reaches up towards the heavens. Right hand comes down onto that right leg or maybe reaching behind the back of the body. Breathing into the lungs, opening the chest. One more breath. And slowly making your way back into warrior two. And find that strong transition to crescent arms. Rise to the sky and up on. Warrior. And on our exhale, hands come down to the earth. We're going to step right foot, the left fold, letting the fingertips towards the earth or grabbing onto the calf for you. And with our next inhale, we'll place our palms directly below the knees and find a half forward fold. Gaze is at the earth. Feel that belly up and away, nice and strong through the core. Roll its bones to the sky. And exhale, we fold forward. For a long breath here. And with that next exhale, gently bending the knees just enough so that the hands can come down to the earth. And we'll step back for plank. With our next inhale, we'll bring the right knee up in between the hands. So that right knee comes up and then lands down. We find our way into pigeon, releasing the toes. Can we press the hands down into the earth, lift through the center of the head, nice and soft in that right hip. You're welcome to slide a bolster or a blanket underneath that right hip if that feels comfortable for you. We'll take one more breath here. And on our exhale, gently fold forward. Belly comes down, forehead makes its way towards the earth. And we'll breathe here in pigeon. Long inhales and long exhales into that right hip. And with our next inhale, slowly press up. Coming back onto the palms, we'll curl those back toes under, press through the back of the left knee, and we'll find plank. Nice strong transition here, bringing the left knee up in between the hands. Gently lowering down onto that left hip and release the right toes. As we settle in here, we notice if we want to place a bolster underneath that left hip, making sure that we're finding our edge, not pushing past it. One more nice long deep breath here. And on our exhale, we begin to fold forward, slowly making our way towards the earth. Maybe stacking the fists and resting the head on the fists. Maybe forehead comes to the earth, or grabbing for a bolster or a cushion to rest the forehead on. And we'll breathe here, long inhales and long exhales. Again, noticing if you've gone past your edge, if maybe we need to come out or back off just slightly. And with our next inhale, we'll slowly make our way back to center. Coming up onto the hands, chest comes out towards the top of the mat first. We don't want to just extend through the spine, opening through that heart center, curling the right toes under, finding plank. One more long, deep breath here. And on our exhale, we'll bring the knees to the earth, release the toes, and find child's pose. Forehead to the floor. If you want a break for the shoulders, just gently bring those hands around the back of the body, reaching for the toes, and allow the shoulders to roll in. With our next inhale, we'll create nice length through the body as we come back into plank. And from here, gently bend the knees. Bring the elbows to where the palms were, and then slowly lower the belly down onto the earth. Finding Sphinx forearms, palms pressing down into the earth, chest reaching towards the top of the mat. Gaze is out in front, point through those toes, and then peel the belly up and away from the earth, creating nice and strong core, protecting the low back. One more breath here. And on our exhale, coming all the way down onto our bellies. Take your time to roll over onto your back. And we'll bring knees into chest and gently rock side to side, just releasing any tension that may have formed in the hips or in the low back. And from here, bringing the feet to the earth, keeping those knees standing. So the heels stay nice and close in towards the pelvis. A couple of gentle pelvic tilts. So we're pointing the tailbone to that space between the knees, creating a flat back down on the earth. And then gently press the tailbone down towards the earth as the lumbar spine comes up into an arc, reaching off of the mat. So again, we press the small of the back down into the earth as the tailbone points to the space between the knees, and then press the tailbone down as the low back comes up off the mat. We'll do 2 more here. Again, allowing the breath to be your guide, moving with each inhale and each exhale, and then slowly bringing yourself back to center. Keeping the heels nice and close in towards the pelvis. Imagine that you're squeezing a ball or a block between your knees. We press the small of the back down into the earth as we point the tailbone to that space between the knees. Palms are pressing down by our side, and with our next inhale, engaging the glutes, we'll lift the pelvis up towards the heavens. Nice, strong, sturdy bridge here. Again, imagine you're squeezing that ball between the knees. Glutes are strong, quads are strong. We're pressing into the heels, hamstrings are strong. One more breath. And on the exhale, lower down one vertebrae at a time. And from here, bring knees into chest. And gently rocking side to side. And slowly coming back to center, we'll bring our feet to the earth and then extend the legs all the way down onto the mat, allowing the feet to flop open. Hands are down by our side, palms are open to the space in the room. Gently allow the eyes to close if they aren't there already. Placing the tongue right behind the front two teeth where the teeth meet the roof of the mouth, allowing the jaw to be open and at rest. As we make our way into Savasana, noticing where in the body we most easily feel our breath. Maybe the breath has shifted, maybe you feel it in a different place than you did at the beginning of class, or maybe it's in that same place that feels so familiar to you. As we find our breath, we allow the inhale to come gently and with ease, and we allow the exhale to come gently and with ease. You may notice that the mind wants to wander away, which is perfectly normal and natural, part of the workings of the mind. And instead of berating or passing judgment on that experience, just use it as an opportunity for practice. Every time we notice that the mind has moved into thoughts, we can recognize them as thoughts, planning, remembering, worrying, creating, whatever it may be that the thoughts are doing, and then allow our awareness to come back into the breath. Allowing the body to rest in stillness, being held up by the back of the body so the front of the body can be open, allowing that heart center to extend out in all directions. With each inhale, coming with ease, bringing that same sensation into the body. And the exhale gently leaves the body, creating a softness, a surrender, a release. Again, noticing that it's the nature of the mind to wander away. Simply notice that it's wandered, naming the wandering, and then bringing your attention back to your breath. And we'll spend the next few moments of Savasana following this same pattern, allowing our awareness to stay with our breath, noticing and recognizing when it's wandered away, offering a name to that wandering, and then bringing the attention back to the breath. By naming the wandering of the mind, we can recognize that we are not our thoughts. Our habitual patterns can become more clear to us. We can start to recognize that space that we can create between our thoughts and ourselves. Maybe at times our thoughts move into a place in the body that has begun holding again, or a place in the body that might need the attention of the breath. We can allow our exhale to soften the tension. We can allow the exhale to bring a surrendering into the body, so we can truly find ease and grace as our breath continues to rise and fall. Again, if you notice that your mind has wandered off, creating thoughts, planning, remembering, simply recognize the workings of the mind and allow your breath to come back into your awareness. You don't have to control or mitigate the breath, but simply recognize that breath is happening. As we transition from Savasana back into our day, we'll begin by allowing gentle movement to come in through the fingers and toes, maybe extending or flexing, maybe rolling the wrists or the ankles in one direction and then the other. And for a brief moment, again, find that place of stillness. Find that exhale of surrender. And with your next inhale, again, welcome movement into the body. Maybe flexing, extending, rolling. Maybe even allowing your gaze to drop over the right shoulder and then the left. And with your next exhale, find for that brief moment that place of stillness. As our next inhale comes back into the body, we'll begin rolling onto one side. Maybe allowing the knees to come in towards the chest. Making your way onto your side, again, find that surrender, find that exhale, that moment of stillness. And we begin to notice how easy and quickly we can drop into that place of stillness, knowing that it's always wrapped up in that exhale. We just have to bring our attention into the moment. And with our next inhale, slowly begin pressing up. Again, finding that comfortable seated position, either perched upon a cushion or simply cross-legged on your mat. And then finding the exhale. Noticing again in a different position, now upright. We can quickly drop into that place of letting go, of surrender, of release. And with our next inhale, arms rise to the sky, reaching the fingers up towards the heavens. Palms come to touch. Exhale, hands come to heart center. And I want to thank you all for being present with us. Enjoy the rest of the RC. I hope to see you later this week. Namaste.